Hello, it's Anna Christiana, and I'm back with a new video, finally. In this video, I'm gonna show you exactly how I combined 550 microlocs into about 50 to 55 traditional locks and how I did it in just a few hours. So if you're interested in learning how to combine your microlocs or Sisterlocs, then stay tuned. Hello, welcome back to my channel. It's been a while since I made a video, but I did promise that I would show you guys how I combined 500, almost 500 Microlocs into approximately 50, 55, give or take, traditional locks. I've explained it in my first video how to do it, but I did say that I would demonstrate it. So I just wanted to make a video actually demonstrating how I combined my Microlocs into these traditional locks that you see here. Okay, I recently did a retwist, as you can see. In my last video, I said I was going to do a retwist, that I may just kind of freeform my hair, and just kind of keep it neat by wrapping the new growth around the lock, but it was just looking, especially the back, it was just looking a mess. So I decided to retwist it. I retwisted my hair 2 days ago. I didn't use any gel. I just used water. Maybe next time I'll use gel. I don't know. I just used water, and this is the look that I got. Let me show you the back. You can see. Okay, this is the back. You can see my hair is growing. And that's an amazing thing about combining your Microlocs in this way. Let me show you the back. No breakage. Because you're using human hair to wrap around your Microlocs, it prevents your hair from breaking off, actually. Like, I have really very low maintenance with my hair now because, you know, it's kind of protected in a way. I, maintain my scalp health. I try to maintain that, but the ends, I don't have to worry about the ends breaking off because it's kind of protected with the human hair that you're going to wrap around your Microlocs to combine the locks. There were several methods that I've seen on YouTube. The predominant method that I've seen is people taking their Microlocs and two-strand twisting them, but the result of that, it looked kind of ununiform. You can still see the texture of the Microlocs, and it just didn't give a look that I thought looked good. So I decided to figure it out, and I came up with this method. You will not find this method anywhere on YouTube. I promise you that. And if you do know that this method exists before I've shown you, then please tag me in that video or at me in that video, because I looked all over YouTube to find the method, and I couldn't find one that works, so I created this one. And I took a gamble, and it works. It's been 5 months since I combined my locks. I combined my locks in June, and this video I'm filming the end of October. So it's been about 5 months. And the longer it's been, the nicer it looks, in my opinion. So I think, honestly, it looks great. Okay. So if you haven't watched my first video, watch the first video. I do explain kind of more detail how to combine, but this time I wanted to demonstrate. So what you'll need is loose bulk hair. You can also, if you have clip-ins that you don't use anymore and it's kinky hair clip-ins, you can use that and just cut the hair off the weft. I did that, but then I ran out of hair, so then I had to go out and buy bulk hair. The kinkier the hair, the better. The more it looks like your natural hair, I have 4C hair, the more it looks like your natural hair, the better it's going to blend. So you're going to take the kinky hair, and not a lot, okay? Not a lot. Take a piece. I just bought regular beauty supply store kinky hair. Like, I didn't have patience to do research about which quality kinky hair I could get. If you have that time and you have that, if you have that time, then do that. I totally recommend it. The better quality human hair you can get, the better. Obviously, your hair is going to look, I feel. But I just went and got beauty supply store hair. I had 2 options, and I just took one that looked the kinkiest. So you take a chunk of your Microlocs. I went from almost 500 to almost 50, so do the math, about 10 Microlocs in each. You don't have to do them as big as mine. I just didn't want to have them too small, so I did them pretty big. In the front, I did them pretty small compared to how I did the middle. You can see in the middle, they're huge. You can see in the back. You can kind of see in the profile that my hair has more locks in the front and fewer locks in the back. I don't know if you can see, but it is true. If I could do it again, I would have been more patient and made the back a little smaller, but hey. Okay, so you take a tuft of hair. Okay. And you can see the texture of the hair that I combined. You see? You can still see my Microlocs here. You see? That should tell you how loose I wrapped it. So you don't want to wrap it too tight because you're going to get a stiff lock. You're going to be wrapping this natural human hair around your Microlocs. You don't want to wrap it too tight or else you get a stiff lock. I have a lock up the front that's kind of stiff. because I wrapped it too tight. Whereas the rest, they're not stiff. Okay? Limp. Okay. So you don't want to wrap it too tight. So you take a chunk. So pretend this is my chunk of Microloc. You see how non-tight I wrapped it, that you can even still see the Microloc here? It just makes it look more natural, honestly. You don't want to have it like wrapping like you're doing faux locks, but it's kind of the same method. So you take the loose hair, you take it to one end, to the root. Ideally, you would have let your hair grow out for about 2-3 months. The longer you let your hair grow out, the nicer it's going to look. And the better you're able to gauge how big you want to do your partings. I was impatient, so I let it grow out for like a month. But if you can let your hair grow out for 2-3 months, amazing. Because then you won't have to wrap at the root. You want to let you can leave your new growth out, right? And you would just wrap where your Microlocs, your last retie was, right? But I've already done a retwist, so we're going to start here. But you take the loose hair, and you take the short end, and it's kind of on one side, and you take the long end, and you just, I hope that's clear. You take it like, boop, one side, hold it, and then you wrap, and 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 you wrap. And you don't wrap too tight. You don't wrap too tight. But you don't wrap loose either. You're like wrapping firm, but not too, you're like leaving gaps kind of. Like you're not wrapping too close to each other, because then that's making it tight. So you kind of leaving gaps. And you can see in the texture of my hair that I've left gaps. You see? Many places you see I left gaps. I don't want to demonstrate this all the way to the end because it'll be hard for it to come out. Okay, so then say you got to the end. Like, this is not going to be enough hair to get to the end, right? So once you finish with this, you take another piece of hair, tiny amount, and then you start again. So you leave a little bit. This is way too much. I would have kept wrapping, but you leave a little bit. Say, like, this is all the bit you have left. Take another piece of hair. One goes behind, one goes in front. It's African threading method. And you wrap, and you wrap, and you wrap, and you wrap, okay? Now, say you go out to the end. What do? So say this is the end. My lock is too long. Okay, so say this is the end. You wrap, and 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 you're like, wrapping. You're like, okay, I'm at the end, right? And you have all this hair. You wrap, and you wrap, and you wrap, and this is when you wrap tight. Let me show you. See my ends? Let me see if this focuses. See the ends? Oh gosh, this camera doesn't like to focus. Okay, you see the ends? You see how they're like balls? Because I wrap them so tight at the ends. That's what you want to do. So where are we? Oh, right here. Okay, so you wrap it, you wrap it, you wrap it. wrap it. And you wrap it tight, and then you get a crochet tool, a lock tool, the crochet one. I don't have it here with me. But you take that, and you just get violent, essentially, with it. You want to really tangle it up, and you just, tangling it up. But you want to wrap this where there's no hair left. You wrap, no more hair. Tangle with your crochet tool, lock tool. And that's it. Boom. That's what I did. And that's what I did. And that's all I did. And that's it. And that's how you can go from 500 Microlocs to like 50. Yeah, it's my method, patented. Just kidding. I'm contributing to YouTube University. I've definitely learned many things on this platform. So this is my own contribution on how to combine Microlocs. And I feel they look great. The longer I keep them in, it's been 5 months about, I feel the more natural it looks. So if you have Microlocs and you're considering combining, there's no need to cut them off and start all over. There's no need for doing that. And you could just use this method, and it works quite well. I feel it works quite well. I don't have any complaints. It's almost like a protective style. It's like a protective style, except it's permanent. I hope for it to be permanent. One thing to note is when you're sectioning your hair, you want to be very mindful of this, because the way you section your hair is how the new growth and your locks are going to grow from then, right? So there are going to be some of my locks that are going to start growing flat because the way I sectioned my hair was more like a rectangle. My hair was already a Microloc, so not as much control on how the parting is. But to the best of your ability, try and get the parts like squares or like round. You see the front is kind of like round. In the back, I have big squares. So try and get it like that so that your locks grow cylindrical. Oh, anyways, so your locks grow that way and they don't grow flat. I mean, if your locks grow flat, it's not the end of the world, but try and control that. Any other tips? No, that's it. Be patient. Let your Microlocs grow out before you do this method. Be careful of the parting, and don't do it too tight so you don't have stiff locks. You see this one is stiff. It's stiff a little bit. Okay, and that's it though. So thank you for watching. I hope you guys found this useful. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. Feel free to leave a comment. I do love when I read comments. It's so encouraging that people are, it makes me feel like, wow, people are actually watching my video. And it makes me want to make more. I do plan on, making more videos on, just showing how these locks progress. I've seen videos where they're just kind of like, this method seems like it's kind of dangerous. Who knows? But time will tell. Time will tell. As my hair grows out, that's what I'm really looking forward to seeing what happens. As my hair grows out and it's doing its own locking, how my locks are gonna look. So feel free to subscribe. I'm looking for new subscribers. It's really encouraging. Feel free to like and share this video with any friends that have Microlocs and they're just like, what did I do? I don't want to do the reties. It's expensive. It's time consuming. Yeah, but it's beautiful. Microlocs are beautiful. Yes, they are. But I do love. I do love my new set of traditional locks. Okay. Thank you for watching. One thing that I forgot to mention, if any of you guys have any questions about what I've done, feel free to leave your question in the comment box and I'll be sure to answer. I've also been thinking of dyeing my hair black just to cover up the lint that you can see is in my hair. I'm not fussed with not wearing clothes that will prevent the lint, so I'd rather just color it. So if you have any tips, any tricks, anything that I need to worry about, then feel free to leave that below in the comment box. I'd much appreciate it. Thank you for watching.